What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Reality TV RHAPpy Hour. My name is Jordan Parhar, and today we are live talking about Big Brother Canada 5. We've just seen the premiere. Oh my goodness, so much to talk about and get into. And I am here at a premiere party with some friends. They might show up. We'll see what goes on. It could be very interesting. But before those people show up, let's talk about who's here on this panel tonight. First is a man who I just learned likes to be called Big Al. It's Alex Kidwell, ladies and gentlemen. Alex, how are you?
Once again, Jordan just starts making things up. I've literally never said that in my life, but
you said it 5 minutes ago when you were 6.
Oh man, Alex on the denial already.
I said that I knew people. Yeah, people called me Al when I was 6. Big Al is an invention of your own design, my friend, and that's just how you. That's how you do. That's why you don't get invited back for Big Brother Canada, Jordan. You're really twisting all the words. They knew you'd probably do too well.
Yeah, no, that probably no.
Turned into a compliment after all.
It did actually. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate it.
You never know where I'm going, do you?
Next on the panel is a man who hopes that Alec Beal will randomly show up on this podcast shirtless. It's Brent Walgamont, ladies and gentlemen. Brent, how are you?
I'm doing great. And yes, I was trying to get him to take his shirt off before this podcast started. And I'm so excited tonight because JP is drinking and I might get lucky. Just saying.
You might, Brent. You just might, man. I was feeling good watching that episode. I was like, man, maybe me and Brent Walgamont, it could happen. You never know. Next on the panel, I love the face she just made at me because I don't think she's too impressed. It's Melissa Denny, ladies and gentlemen. Melissa, how are you?
I am very good. I didn't think I could be any more excited for BBCAN, but then the second the theme started playing, I had the stupidest grin all over my face, and I didn't even realize it until I was like, wait a second, what's my face doing? But I'm very excited to be talking about it.
So good. So good, Melissa. So good. I'm so pumped about it, too. And I know this man is very pumped, even though he's wearing all black, as if some bad people just won the game. Maybe this is a premonition because he is a robot after all. It's Taran Armstrong, ladies and gentlemen. Taran, how are you?
Well, I actually come from the future, so I guess one of these house guests are going to be sent my way. I guess that's the twist. That's what's happening.
No. Oh no, Taran, we don't want that. That's not good.
They don't want to be with me. It's not a good future.
No. We do not want that. All right, guys, let's get into this Big Brother Canada 5. We are live on RHAPpy.com. Apologies for the delay. We had some technical difficulties. But just to let you guys know, I am going to bounce out after about 30 minutes. I have had some drinks. I'm at this party. Things are probably going to go haywire on my end. I'm not at my house. I'm at Sarah Miller from BBCAN 2's house. I'm in her basement right now. So if you lose me halfway through, that's what happened. So I just want to apologize ahead of time. But we're going to talk. We don't have a ton to break down. So we're going to talk about the episode a little bit, what we saw. And then the LFC are going to break down your questions in the second half of this podcast. Just to let you guys know, we've got the chat room going on RHAPpyswebsite.com. I think there's a little bit of an issue with that. So if you want to go to chatwing.com/RHAPpy Hour, hang out with some people there. Yeah, the BB president is saying in the chat that it's not showing up on the website. So if you're watching this live, and on YouTube, go to chatwing.com/RHAPpy Hour. We will be monitoring that chat throughout the show. Also, guys, this is a live show. We're taking your questions. If you want to get those in, you can send them to us. Tweet them to Alex Kidwell. He's at Alex Kidwell. Use hashtag RHAPpy Hour, and we will get into those questions later on in the show. Oh my gosh, we got our first guest, guys, of the podcast this year. Come on in. She's from Big Brother Canada 3. Give it up for Willow McDonald, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Willow, how's it going? Okay, Willow, grab this, and so you can hear, and then maybe you want to sit on my lap. Okay. Yeah, you can sit on my lap, Willow. I don't know if this is gonna hurt the mic. Yeah, the mic's under your foot.
Oh, you just muted yourself.
Oh boy.
Yeah, JP girl bye.
Oh man, the drinks are already killing the podcast.
She just sat on the mic. And,
well, I feel like this is the podcast of like humble brags because JP is like, yeah, I'm at a premiere party. I'm with all my Big Brother Canada friends. Yeah, you need to unmute yourself, Jordan.
This is a little bit like Jordan's own Christmas special. He's just got people popping in.
Special guests throughout the night.
This is cool.
We still got nothing from Jordan.
Jordan, say something.
You're unmuted, but you're still no audio on that end.
Something happened with your wire.
Perhaps it's unplugged, yeah.
So check that out. But in the meantime,
Yeah,
we're going to talk about some shit.
You're just getting started. Yeah,
Yeah.
broad strokes. This episode we started out nothing yet. We've got a space theme. We've got some returning players. So Brent, what are your thoughts? Broad strokes here.
I just continually reminded of the fact that BBCAN puts BBUS to shame when it comes to the freaking house, man. That house, look, I haven't really watched anything online. I know it's out there, but I kind of like to just experience the show from the TV point of view. And the house is just amazing. I mean, all of the themes that go into it, all of the, like I tweeted, the things about the space-time continuum and sending people into the future that you can do. It's just, it's so well thought out. They always bring it, and they brought it again this year.
Watch this.
Okay. Can you guys hear us now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. We're back. So we got Willow, we've got Alec Beal, and Rochelle.
Wow.
The best person that's ever
Full
played
house.
Big Brother Canada. I'm fucking pissed off right now.
Whoa.
Why is Rochelle pissed? I feel like
Rochelle,
this is breaking
why are you
news.
upset? Why are you upset? This is also this is a family podcast. No swearing, please.
I'm actually a psychologist, but I'm very mad that I was not invited back on this season because I was known as the most enthusiastic, the most dramatic, and the biggest character of BBCAN 2. So I don't know what they were thinking.
I
know you all agree.
Yeah.
I don't know what show. I would
argue
definitely
with
be
that.
most enthusiastic, entertaining, maybe not, but that's okay, Rochelle.
And the most emotional.
Yes, Alec Beal, what were your thoughts on this episode?
I want to get the panel's opinion because I'm hugely team Netta, obviously. Should I be telling people to vote for Netta? Because I did. And knowing Netta, I know she would go home and die if she got voted out before jury.
Right.
So
we want to know the answer.
yes, so there's a trade-off between letting her skate to jury and possibly taking a hit in the final two, being you skated to jury, we can't vote for you, versus she's got the hugest target on her back going in there. She's already got a massive target. So she needs a couple weeks in there to get her claws in, get some control over people. And that's kind of what I'm thinking. But I don't know. I'm conflicted. I'd want her to do well, but I don't know if I should tell people to vote or not.
Well, let's talk about this here. So Taran, I want to throw this to you. So we've got this twist. Hey, can you get Greg Rowe? Thank you.
That I'm leaving. Bye. I know you missed me.
Bye, Rochelle. Okay, so Taran, I want to throw this to you. So yeah, let's talk about this twist. I think that's the biggest thing. This episode was mainly focused on the bios of these people. We already, if you listen to this podcast, you already kind of get a feel for these players already. So the biggest thing is, okay, one, Karen wins HOH. Cindy, again, beats out in the endurance competition. 2, there's this twist where one of the house guests is going to get a pass to the future. They're going to go to jury. They're going to make it all the way to the jury, but they're not going to be able to play in between. We also don't know what's going to happen if they're going to get sent to sequester while this is happening, or if they're going to just hang out in the house, kind of like Danielle during Big Brother 13, and get that when she had that golden key. So, Taran, I want to ask you, is this a good thing? Do we want to vote for our favorites here? Do we want to try to help them out, or is this a bad thing, this twist where we are potentially voting for someone to skip all the way to jury?
It definitely could be a bad thing. The probably the closest thing we've seen to this was Big Brother 13 with the golden key, but that didn't really play out. Danny didn't go to the final two, so we didn't really know how that would have affected her. Closest to that is maybe Dan Giesling in season 14. We saw right from the get-go, people were very bitter about the fact that he was a coach, he was a returning player, he was a returning winner, and he got a couple weeks off. So we could definitely see some resentment. However, this is Netta we're talking about. She is known as the greatest player probably on Big Brother Canada. And I think that she still has plenty of time, especially if it's a big jury, to work her way into the fact that hey, yeah, I do deserve some money. She'll probably even say, look, nobody's going to vote for me in the final two after this. This is bullshit. Yeah. I can't believe this happened. This is total nonsense. I can't believe they did this to me. And people will be like, wow, yeah, she's not as threatening anymore. No, who's going to vote for Netta in the final two? And then hopefully if she does get there, she can be like, no, that was my strategy. You saw what I did. I played my way to get here.
I love this guy. That's exactly right. And that's what we'll say too.
We love
Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you. I don't want to hear the counterpoint. All right.
That's why he makes the big dollars, Taran Armstrong.
Yes, that's right. So we've got Willow here. We got Mumsy here too. Mumsy,
Hi.
you want to say hi?
Hey,
to the panel?
Sarah.
Mumsy
Yeah,
from
actually,
Big
I have
Brother
some.
Canada, too.
I'll talk to them later. About
Okay.
it. I want to clarify some things that I heard them say about my game on a last podcast.
Oh well,
Okay,
Another time.
I'll be leaving
Another
now.
time.
Brent's leaving.
Call him out. No, we don't want to do this another time. Let's call Brent out.
I know I love Brent too, but he's so mean sometimes.
I'm a little mean. I can be a little
No,
shady.
you're so truthful. I love it.
Okay, well, I want to get Will. I want to get your take on this.
Okay.
What do you think about this twist? Do you like this twist? Is this a good twist or is this a bad twist?
You said something about they're not going to be able to play in the middle.
Yeah, no. So it looks like this in the chat. Looks like on the chat, it sounds like they are going to be able to. They are going to play in the competitions. It sounds like LFC. Can you fill me on that?
Yeah, they know.
I don't know.
Yes,
They can.
Melissa,
They
so
are eligible
elaborate.
for HOH.
Yeah,
Okay.
according to the rules, they can play in veto and HOH.
So they can play in veto and HOH. So do we know this is on the website? We see this.
Somebody saw it on the website in the
Yeah.
rules.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So now, Willow, how
I
do
feel like
how
I
do you
need
feel
more
about that?
confirmation.
Well, I mean, it's on the website. It's
No, but
official.
do you like this twist? Do you think this is a good twist or a bad twist?
As a fan to watch and somebody who's rooting for the vets and likes that, like, yeah, obviously, like that's something that I like. As a player, no, not at all. Like, and as a newbie or somebody who was voting for a newbie or even like cheering on a newbie, like, no, this is horrible. And this is like, we've said this 1,000 times. Stop putting in big twists to ruin people's like games or like, right? We've talked about these huge crazy twists or these like just
Canada's HOH.
yeah, or like all of these crazy ones like coup d'etats and stuff. Like, stop throwing those in there, and they just keep giving us bigger ones. So no, I honestly don't like it. I don't think it's a good thing. I really, really don't. Because even if, like we were saying, we all love Netta, we know she's great. Even if Netta wins, people will never be like, well, remember when she got 5 weeks? They won't It's just like no one's gonna have a happy win almost.
Yeah.
Like no one's gonna be.
My take on that is, though, it's not a twist that's ruining someone's game, though, with respect.
No.
It's something that's helpful to the vets, and not that they need any more help at this
Right.
point. But Netta might, considering the reactions of those people. I was actually kind of stunned that they reacted as vehemently as they did. Like, I figured most of them would be like, oh, yeah, I remember her. But they really remember her. So she might really need this twist, actually.
I think so.
But that's the point. Is Netta going to want to win because she got carried to jury? Like, is that how she wants her epic redemption?
But she can still like play in comp, so she can win.
I think she'd be happy with the title.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel
I
like
think that title.
A
If
win's a
Netta-
win.
if Netta is anything like me, she doesn't want to win that way. I feel like she wants to win it.
I feel like it's between her winning that way maybe or getting out super early. Like, I don't think she'd want to get out next.
I
just
agree.
because she
I
would
think
want to
if
have that
if she was
title.
faced with that choice, like if she's on the block right now and about to be evicted tomorrow night, then she definitely wants this. But we don't know if that's the case.
Nope.
So then the question
Possible,
is, who
though.
do we endorse for this twist, or do we endorse anyone? That's the question, right? I feel like
we tell BBCAN to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, I'm with that. Remove.
I tweeted like we should send the BBCAN 5 producers to the future and
Nobody
just have
vote.
3-5 weeks of no twists.
Come on, you guys. It's between Netta and Cass. I mean, that's the long and short of it.
You
It's
don't think
between-
Kevin's in there?
I mean,
Jordan
look,
thinks
I think
Gary's in
super
there.
fans. I mean, I guess Gary, but I mean, considering they gave him his own, I just don't think look, I still maintain what I said before. I don't think Gary's that popular. I really don't. And I don't think he's going to win over Netta in a popularity vote.
I have 2 Canadians on this podcast. Is
Oh.
Gary popular, guys?
Yep.
Honestly, when I saw his little bio and reminded me of his season, I really felt. Remember, I said that I was like,
Yeah.
"This was my favorite moment of season
Yes,
1." Was his
right.
speech at the end? I just don't know that he's as relevant as he used to be, but I do think he was a popular player from that season for sure.
Casual fans, like you said.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. I think coming out of the first season, I was like, he's the next Justin Bieber. Like, I thought he was going to be huge. This guy's blowing up. Like, he was that speech where they played again, where he's just like, that's so touching and so real for so many people. And I just thought, like, I remember that moment where I'm like, oh, this guy's going to just like transcend reality TV. But yeah, surprising, I think, in some respects that maybe he has not pushed through that glass ceiling, so to speak.
There is an addendum to the rules that I need to specify. Whoever's going to be evicted tomorrow night is not eligible for the safety. So if Netta gets this and she's evicted tomorrow night, the next highest vote getter will be the person who's sent to the future.
See, I feel like this twist would be much more shocking And I think that's what they want to go for. If it was right before the eviction and like hypothetically, let's say Netta's on the block. I mean, this could save her, right?
Like Suzette, when you're like, she's about to be evicted and like, oh no, you're actually safe. Yeah.
Yes. So the thing I want to ask you guys then is that is interesting is Karen is the new HOH. Cindy beasts out in that competition. Not really a surprise. Every single comp that Cindy was in that was endurance, Cindy either won or she came in second. So Cindy is a very good competition player. We saw that on season 3. Karen's HOH. First, I want to know, Willow, what do you think of Cindy's move to give the HOH to a newbie? Now, Cindy's safe because she gets immunity from this. But what do you think about this? Kind of throwing the vets under the bus a little bit by not taking this one by the reins, because they could have given the HOH to someone else.
Yeah. But I think any vet that was going to win was going to give it to the newbie and then just control it. I think, again, nobody wants to win the first HOH, even if we are in this season. Nobody wants to get blood on their hands that quickly. And I think that Cindy's just thinking like, it's a smart move. And I commend her on this, but literally it's going to be her HOH, but Karen's name on the dotted line. Like, do you know what I mean? So if it comes back or lashes back on her, it's like, Karen put you up. I didn't do anything, but Cindy 100% will control this HOH. I guarantee you.
Melissa, do you agree with that sentiment?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I mean, it was a team effort. You know that Cindy's going to play that up, and I think that it definitely will be, Cindy controlling it and Karen trying to, align herself and get herself in with people. I mean, she thought she was first out, and then she wins HOH. So I think that it's and ruffle Cindy's feathers or any of the vets' feathers at this point.
So I want to ask this question to you, Taran. Who do you think Karen is going to nominate here with this HOH?
Well, based on everything we saw pregame, I feel like Karen is not going to listen to Cindy. I feel like Karen is going to have her own agenda. She seems like a very driven and determined person, and she's way older than all these people. I feel like she's not a Kathy. She is more of a Kale, I think.
Yeah, Kale 2.0.
Yeah, and so I feel like, she talked a lot about, I'm going to go for the big targets, and she really wanted this HOH. I can only imagine that's because she wants to go for a big target. I'm kind of worried for someone like Kevin. I'm kind of worried for Netta. I feel like those are the big names. Those are the big targets that could easily be the people that she's going after.
I'm going to dissent from that opinion. We're looking at her when all of these vets came into the house. She was the one who was the most excited to see all of them. She knew all of their names. She predicted some of the people that would be walking into the house. So I have to think, I think what I said before is that she's the Shelley Moore. She's going to work with the vets and know that that's her ticket to the jury.
Yeah,
we're going Chop Shop 2.0 Big Brother Season 5. Okay, peep this. Bruno, Dylan, Jackie, Emily, and the Ginger fucking Ninja from the 604. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. I'm going on the show.
All right. See you later. Good luck. Good luck.
A wild Ginger Ninja appeared.
Wow. So a wild Ginger Ninja has appeared. Just like, Willow, Greg randomly showed up on a podcast that it was John and Arlie 2 summers ago. It was pretty funny.
Really?
Yeah, but here we go. There's Ginger Ninja.
By the way, I want to say something really quickly. I don't know if you guys
Brent.
noticed, but apparently Hamster Watch tweeted that right after the competition, Netta was taken out of the house and had to go to the hospital because she didn't land on the mat. So I'm worried. I don't think that would really hurt her, and I don't know how long she was gone. And apparently she's fine now. But if she was out of the house during that period about where we were deciding who the nominees are going to be, I can see them, especially if she's not there to fight back, to throw her up there, even as a pawn, and she quickly becomes the target.
The first night is so crucial. The first day, that's when everything is your bonds are making, your first impressions are making and stuff. And yeah, if they had her out there for at least 4 or 5 hours, that's crucial time.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Alex.
I think it's pretty unfortunate, actually, for a lot of the other vets that Cindy ended up being the one who won there, because I think some of the other vets would be more inclined to recognize the need to just get ahead in the numbers game, even though obviously it's not going to break down, the whole season's not going to be veterans versus new players. But I mean, just the fact that some of those people are going to be targeted right away, I think. Cindy is obviously more inclined to protect herself now and worry about later, but I think there were some other people who probably would have seen it differently.
Okay, well, yeah, it's gonna be fascinating. I probably think we should sign off on our end here. Before we leave, yeah, because you got here. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just saying it's a little crazy. So
Good job.
JP has a
Jordan.
way with the ladies.
Great social game as always.
I really do have a great social game. I do want to ask one question. This one is from our good pal, Brendan Villegas from Big Brother 12. Brendan asks, if only one alliance survives Big Brother Canada 5, can it be the one preventing Alex Kidwell getting punched in the face? Alex, what is your take on that? Will Chop Shop 2.0 protect you from getting punched in the face?
We can only hope, Jordan. We can only hope.
We can
He
only
clearly
hope.
needs it.
He does need it, because did you know Alex was punched in the face multiple times, Willow?
I just actually listened to your guys' draft on the drive here, and I was like, what? Like, it was a twist. Like, I'm waiting for the cliffhanger. Like, what happened?
It's been many years.
We're slowly unveiling
Many
it.
years.
Podcast. We're like cereal in that sense.
Oh, I love that.
Isn't that a good point?
Yeah, it's so good. Sarah Koenig.
I'm older and wiser than I once was, I think.
Yes, absolutely. Alec, get in here. Okay, so Alec's going to take a selfie of us while we do this. We're going to go. You guys.
Update. Royal Kantar from Netta's account tweeted, "Go vote for Netta." So everyone
there
should
it
go vote
is.
for Netta if you're a Netta
There you
fan.
go.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so
pretty
there we
much
go.
Netta, so-
We're going to head out. Ginger Ninja 604. Peace out to all of you. Thank you for listening to the podcast, and apologies for this gong show we've
Thanks for
created on
having
our
me.
end.
Thank
You guys have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow. Take care. Peace out.
Bye, JP.
Yeah.
So
Laugh Willow
messiest-
though.
messiest podcast ever.
I mean, it was crazy, but it was also kind of fun.
It was
And-
very
Yeah, they
fun.
should have.
It was
He should have
different.
let Willow just take over.
I
Yeah.
think
It
it
was
breaks a
great.
record for the most guests we've ever had on a Big Brother show.
Right? It's a,
so
but it's
that's
a premiere
cool.
night. You know, it's a party. Like everyone's
It's a
here for
party.
it. I mean,
Can
we're
we
living,
just
we're living
can we
for
just
it.
swap JP out for Willow? Is that allowed?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
works for me.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he was great on BB on the Global TV earlier today. So he represents,
No, he
and he had the
I
rap
wonder-
shirt on his
yeah,
I
back.
haven't
wearing
watched it
a
yet.
t-shirt.
Don't spoil me on his performance.
They called him Jason.
Yeah, I did see that clip. That was
So,
fun.
I
That
do
was
have a
fun for
question.
me.
Do you guys really think that they're going to target a vet? Do you think Karen will target a vet? Because I don't think she will. I think she's Shelly from BB13. Taran, you're nodding.
Yeah, I think it could go either way. I think basically, I don't think that Cindy's going to control Karen. I feel like Karen is going to want to reel Cindy in. You know what I mean? I feel like Karen's going to feel like Cindy is a malleable vet. Maybe I can use Cindy to get in with the other vets. The problem is if Cindy is on the outs with people like Ica and Netta, like it was implied that she might be, considering Ica's reaction to her when she came
What
in.
was that? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I'm hearing
Well-
things that maybe she's not the most popular with the former house guests.
Right.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's safe to say, I mean, now that the season started, and especially now that Jordan's gone, I think it's safe to say that I've had some conversations with Jordan where I do get, and it's certainly other people that have in texting with Jordan. Like, I didn't know that, like, apparently Cindy and Dallas know each other and aren't like super fond of each other. But like, that's the kind of thing we couldn't know. Like Ica and Cindy, I think there's probably a little something there as well, from what I understand. So yeah, I mean, it's it's something you can't know going in, that like these people have, of course, met each other at these various functions, at the Give Kids the Worldses and the reality rallies and all those things. And of course, I mean, you end up in these situations where they either want to work with each other, like Gary told Cindy, kind of obviously. I don't know if anyone heard that. I thought
Yeah,
maybe
that was
Dimitri,
a little loud.
Did Dimitri turn his head, or was that just me? Where he's like, yeah. I thought maybe Dimitri heard that. Anyways,
I would
Yeah,
know.
I
I
feel
think
like go ahead.
I think knowing Cindy's like history, I think that she would absolutely be the type to go against the vets and be like, I'm going to join forces with the newbies. Like, let's all get together. Let's go against them. They're the threats. I'm not. I was out really early. Like, I could absolutely see Cindy turning on everyone and thinking like, this is the big move and I'm doing it now, because she's like that.
Yeah, I think whatever Karen does, it's going to be something that she considers to be bold. We saw how aggressive she was in that HOH competition. She talked about wanting to target big targets. I feel like she's gonna, I think it probably goes in one of two ways. It's either the big name vets, or maybe it's one of the big bros. You know what I mean? Maybe it's like Dylan or Dimitri or something like that, where she feels like, yeah, this is a properly aggressive and bold move, and it's going to cement my place as, a big player in this game.
Yeah.
I feel like
definitely
maybe
concerning if you're, I think Bruno, Kevin, Netta, Cass, those are the four.
Yeah, I was going to say Bruno is the one we hadn't really talked about. And I don't know if you know what her connection, Karen, specifically I'm talking about, her connection with Bruno would be. I have to imagine I didn't see anything there, but there may have been something there. I don't know.
Well, they're parents, I guess. And then technically, they're the two oldest house guests, even though the difference is 20 years. Bruno's like kind of more in the mix, whereas Karen is the outlier. But if you're Bruno, I think those are the angles you have to try to play. What did you guys think about? And Melissa, let's start with you. The like the deals that got made there, like Dallas trying to. Obviously, Dallas is very kind of seemingly half-assed, where he's like, "We're good, right? Yeah, okay." And then, but a little more intricate there with Ika and Dre. Do you think is that something Karen has any intention of honoring? It was more Cindy agreeing to do that. I mean, do you think it's gonna come back on anybody here?
I mean, I feel like deals mean nothing now. I don't know, like because of the past few Big Brother seasons where like none of the deals got held up. I don't trust any of it anymore. And I feel like it's a lot of just talk. Like everyone feels like, well, we don't really have to follow these deals. And everyone's just like, yeah, sure, I'll do what you say. Yeah, sure, you're safe, you're good. But no one really makes legit deals. And I don't trust it anymore. I don't think that people are going to follow through.
I agree with you that normally especially in modern Big Brother, deals aren't going to hold, but I feel like a deal made in week 1 is one of the rare times where it will hold. Like I don't think Karen wants to immediately show herself to be a bald-faced liar and nominate Ika. And who was the person who was with Ika? Was that Dre?
Dre. Yep.
Dre. Okay, so Ika and Dre have been told that they're safe. So we'll see if that holds.
Well,
I have to believe it's going to hold.
Week 1, there's so many other targets that it's not really that big of a deal if you could look good by holding it up, but at the same time, not really like change your game because there's so many people that are up for grabs. So,
well, they lingered. They had that like lingering shot on Ika after Dallas dropped, saying like, "Will you guys keep me safe?" Where she looked like, "Yeah, right." But I couldn't tell if that was just like if that was intentional or if that was just Ika, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. I didn't actually see, did Cindy and or Karen ever give any kind of confirmation to Dallas, or was it only Ika that he was talking to?
I'm pretty sure Cindy and Karen did as well.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, I could definitely say, I think the Ika and Dre one, that was more to me like something that gets honored, but I could see a situation where, if they put up 2 targets, Karen puts up 2 targets and then one comes down, maybe Dallas is still an option as the third one. I could see that, right?
Is anyone really going to target Dallas? Is anyone really concerned about Dallas?
He's not a big target, and he's not somebody you fear. So I feel like he's good.
Yeah, I don't think it would be worth it to break the deal at this point with them because it's they're not huge targets. It's not essential that they get them out right now, week 1.
I guess I'm thinking. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say. I guess I'm thinking if you're following the like the Brian Heidick logic, if you want to be in a majority, no matter how it might break down, then, it probably makes sense for Karen to target a veteran male. And, say she put up Kevin and Bruno and 1-1 veto, then I was thinking maybe Dallas would be an option. But Taran, do you disagree? What are we going to say?
I feel like there are bigger fish to fry. Like maybe Bruno, because maybe he's already getting in with the guys and that's already looking threatening. Maybe Dallas is a total dummy right now and he's being super aggressive and thinking that, yeah, I'm safe because I made a deal, so I'm going to team up with all the bros.
Dally boy.
Yeah,
take
who
your
knows?
shirt off.
But I was really curious about like Netta talking to Bruno when Bruno comes in. She's like, you were on season 3, right?
Yes. Well, what's that?
Okay, so was she playing dumb, or was she like? I was thinking maybe she's concerned about how many people were from season 3, and maybe that's something that other people are also concerned about.
I had that in my notes. Yeah, Brent, what was your take on that?
I mean, it was odd. It was awkward. Like I couldn't tell. I'm like, Netta knows the show, and I have to believe she knows who the hell Bruno is. But it just seemed very like are you expecting us to buy that you don't know who he is? Like that was my reaction to Netta trying to say like, for your season 3, right? Season 3, right? All right. But I don't know. Maybe she's. I'm not sure what she was doing there. Melissa, what you got?
I mean, I didn't think about it. I mean, at the time, I didn't realize what she was doing. I was kind of like,
right?
okay,
it's definitely like an aside thing. Know. Yeah,
it was just kind of weird. But I mean, thinking on it, if it is knowing Netta, it's totally the fact that there are so many like season 3 people are trying to point out like, oh, well, I'm a season 2 person and there's barely any season 2 people here. Like I'm nothing. I don't know these people. And maybe trying to point out that she's not really good friends with the vets and isn't super close with them. Maybe she's going to try and show that she's by herself. I don't really know. But I mean, Netta is so smart and she knows the show. She follows it. She, you know, so I don't think it was real, or at least I hope it wasn't.
Yeah,
it did give me a little bit of that Steve Buscemi in Elementary School vibe. Taryn, what were you gonna say?
Well, like Luna in the chat is saying, you know, she thinks she was playing dumb and pointing out to people how many people from Big Brother Canada 3 there were, and I think that's probably right. I think, you know, like I'm not knowledgeable enough to point this out, but are you from season 3? Because wow, man, season 3, it really did give me the kind of like Dr. Will, like, wow, look at all the season 6 people vibe. You know what I mean? Like, so
Totally.
hopefully that's what she's thinking, and she's already working this.
Don't you guys think, I just want to ask really quickly because we already touched on it. Don't you think that they misplayed this twist? I'm talking about the producers, because like if Netta or Kevin or even Gary, I suppose, is on the block tomorrow night getting ready to go home, and there's a twist out there that's going to keep somebody safe till jury, but oh my God, they're not eligible for it. That just feels like a total letdown to me. I mean, I'd be pissed if I was them, and I'd be really pissed if I was a Canadian viewer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I totally agree.
Fair. Although my timeline does seem to be erupting in a cacophony of you know, voting and campaigning. So it's Big Brother over the top all over again. Here we go, guys.
Yeah, I'm literally preparing a poll as we speak.
I know. I was gonna say we need Taran's poll.
You can take the polls away from Taran, but you can't take Taran away from the poll.
I have to believe this is Netta and Cass. I don't care about Gary.
Yeah, people in the chat, tell me who the 4 options should be. I've got Netta and Gary right now.
Well, I've seen a couple people tweeting the Kevin support. I think Cass is the.
Do we think Kevin has enough? Kevin, do we really think that Kevin or Cass have enough steam?
I think Cass does. I've seen a lot of
Cass. Yes, Kevin. Hell no. I'm sorry.
Well,
yeah. I mean,
poll's gonna have 4 options, right?
Oh,
Well, the poll can have it, but he ain't gonna win.
I feel like Kevin got one of the biggest applauses in the studio, though.
It's true.
I felt like I kept seeing the applauses, and I kept thinking that they were getting bigger and bigger. But then I was like, oh, maybe I'm just like seeing something. But I kept being like, wow, that one was bigger than the last. Wow, that applause was way bigger than the last. But I think they were all just the same, and maybe I was trying to read something into it. I don't know.
I'm curious about who each of us is endorsing. I'm clearly endorsing Netta. Alex, are you going to endorse your boy Kevin, or am I reading you right?
I'm gonna remain neutral on this one. I'm not.
Oh
gonna,
my God! The neutral box again.
Alex is the true fancy fencerton.
That's happening.
Right.
Especially now that I took Jordan's spot and I get to pretend that I don't have an opinion on things.
All right. Melissa, who you endorsing for this mega twist?
It's so tough because the second it was announced, I was like, oh, Netta, for sure, Netta. And then I just kept thinking about it, and I was like, I don't want to hurt her game. But at the same time, I don't want to make it so she doesn't even get past like week 2. I want her to get far, and yeah, maybe it diminishes her game a little, but oh well, at least she's past the jury. You know?
Thank you. I feel like everyone's overthinking this. Like all of the stuff that Alec and Jordan were talking about at the beginning, I feel like everyone's overthinking this. Like, I mean, like, come on, if Netta could astral project to the outside where we are right now and tell us what the hell to do, she'd say, "Vote for me, please." Like, that's exactly what she would do.
I mean, it's more to me. I'd much prefer to see Netta as much as I can and see her game and get to, you know, watch her on the feeds and have her not win than to have her get out second or get out first, or, you know, I mean, I guess it wouldn't matter with her getting out first, but I just want to see her play. And if that means us giving her a free pass, fine.
Taran,
yep. I think, you can always figure out the next part later. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to right now, I think Netta's the kind of player that, you know, if she's not out early, then she's a long-term threat, because I mean, we've seen it before. She's someone that, you know, she's not going to necessarily be forgotten about this time, but it's very plausible that if she's in trouble early, that she then becomes in a minority position where then if people flip on a big group alliance, they need her as a number.
Right.
Did they say when they were going to announce this?
Well, it's only 24 hours to vote, so I have to think
okay.
going to announce it very quickly.
Tomorrow after the live eviction, maybe when feeds go up. Or?
After they evict somebody, maybe going into the next HOH competition, they might announce it. It's possible. I don't know. Taran, you're such a purist of the BB game. I'm curious about if you endorse anybody for this twist.
Yeah, it's so tough because on one hand, it does come with inherent disadvantages for Netta. It's something that I don't want to see Netta not play the game for half the game. Like, I want to see Netta try to struggle to get out of whatever, jam she's in. I would love to see that. But on the other hand, I don't want to be stuck with somebody like Gary for half the season for no reason.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? So that would just to just have Gary there and not even having to play the game. Come on. And hey, maybe it's Cass, maybe it's somebody else. I would be fine with Cass, but I do think I think I have to go with Netta. I think she can work around the disadvantage. I think the fact that it's half returning players instead of like it was in Big Brother Canada 14, where it was only 4 returning players. She's not a winner, so she doesn't have that disadvantage going against her either. I think she can still win in the end. So I'm not that concerned about it. And I'm definitely annoyed at the fact that she's not going to have to play the game that hard for half the game, but I still think it's better than the other options, and I would rather see Netta, as Melissa said, than not see Netta. So I think we should go with Netta. I think that's the consensus.
I think at Big Brother 13, we saw kind of a similar twist with the golden keys. And, I think in many ways it kind of hurt Danny Donato in that she ended up getting the golden key and then she wasn't playing. So she had all this time where she's just sitting there bored. Right. And she decided to use that time to start working with the newbies and turn on the veterans.
Right.
But with this twist,
exactly,
you're allowed to play in competitions. You're allowed to continue to vote. So I think, Netta maybe is the same kind of profile where she might get bored and get creative and start try to play games if she had nothing to do in there. But I think it is beneficial that this isn't so isolated. It doesn't completely remove you from the game. I mean, you still have an active role in the decision-making of the house.
Yeah, Danny Donato got bored. Let's be real. She just got bored and she wanted to make big moves. It's like she was like big moves before Survivor was big moves. So that's what happened there. I don't think that this is going to happen to Netta if she gets this twist, because she is able to play in the vetoes and the HOHs. And I just don't think a player like her is going to make the same mistake that Danny Donato made. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, and I think she's the kind of player that will recognize I'm safe and I don't have to win any of these competitions. Hell no, I'm not going to win any of these competitions.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I think that, Netta is definitely someone that, and Cass, I think they're both in similar positions where, some people were already almost lumping them in together, we saw in that episode. And I think, whether it's fair or not, I think they both come in with pretty huge targets into this game. So, yeah, I mean, I think, they're front runners, obviously, with the twist. I think probably Gary and, yeah, I mean, maybe Kevin, but okay, we can say that that's probably a bit of a long shot. I think everyone else is an unrealistic possibility. Certainly any of the newbies, no chance, right, of winning this thing. There's nobody. No chance. Even Dylan with his boxing poll.
Girl, he has 200 followers on Twitter. Come on, give me a break. Okay. I'm still I'm still wondering how all of those people watching that boxing match, where did they come from? Was that the undercard to something else? I don't know.
Yeah, so I guess Canadian boxing isn't on the cutting edge of social media the way maybe some other shows.
Preliminary results from the poll are saying Netta with about 50%. Cass and other are splitting it. I'm guessing Kevin and a few other people are a part of that other. Gary way behind, but we know that he potentially has a lot of casual fans on his side, so we'll see if that makes any difference. But it looks like Netta definitely has the online fan base.
In order to vote for this, do you have to sign up? What's the deal in Canada? Do you have to? Can you sign up through Facebook? How? Yeah. Well, what I'm getting at is how easy is it for a casual to vote? Can they just go on and click, or do they have to sign in and be recognized as a profile?
I'm clicking right now.
I imagine it's probably more towards the latter. I do remember, there are certainly ways that you can convince a computer that you're in another country, but I imagine that you're probably going to need to be in Canada for this one.
All right.
Everyone in the chat is saying it's just easy. You go online and vote. You can click multiple times.
There you go.
I'm not a robot and locked in my vote, and I don't have a VPN running. So,
all right, well, that's a lie because you are a robot. But I mean, that's interesting. All right, so I mean, I guess it was interesting. I thought also that Netta walked in and said, "Are you guys internationals?" Which is almost like it was a tip of the cap to all of these preseason rumors we've been hearing about all the various things, like so many different ideas about returning players from Australia and all these other things. But ultimately, I guess there is an international flair here because anyone from anywhere can vote for these things now.
I guess so. I wanted to ask really quickly, did you guys get the same vibe that I did when Cass walked in the room? I didn't feel like there was a lot of love for her, even from the vets. Like, I didn't feel like they were feeling Cass. Did anybody else feel that way?
Well, Dallas said I'm screwed. So that's
yeah, Dallas was definitely not happy. I don't know. It's hard to tell because I think the enthusiasm died down toward the end anyway.
Okay. All right.
But I do think there's definitely like, who's going to be happy to see Cass given her reputation? You know what I mean? Like she's known she talked about it in her interviews. I'm known for being a liar, a backstabber. I'm going to backstab. I'm a hard player at this game. Even seeing Netta, it's like, at least it's like, whoa, it's Netta. I guess we didn't see as much of that for Cass. I would have guessed that there would have been more of that for Cass, but there wasn't. So definitely interesting to see.
I feel like I didn't see a lot of fanfare for any of the vets' entrances. Like, I feel like there should have been more. I don't know. They walked in and it always just seemed a little awkward. Like, it felt like people were like, "Oh, hi," like, "Oh, so and so," but it wasn't nearly as enthusiastic. Unless maybe big BBUS people just scream even if they don't know who it is.
It's fake, right? No, I feel like we saw some of that with like Big Brother 13 and with Big Brother 18, and maybe it was dialed up a little bit from some people who are just bigger characters, but there is this element of like all the new people are in there. They're starting to talk. They're starting to meet each other. This is our house. We're getting to play this game. This is a new game with a new house with new people. And then here come these people that we've seen get to do this before, and we don't understand what's happening. And it's one thing when one or two come in, and then even Big Brother 18, where 4 of them come in, I guess you can deal with that. But yeah, I mean, I remember even after like Kevin walked in, after Ika walked in, the first person, she just walks off to do her little dance in the storeroom, by the way, which was fantastic. Very cool. I love when people do that. And Ika knows that because she's a returning player, so that's why she did it. But I think they cut back real quick, and Dylan's making some kind of like angry, like punk rocker face, like we're gonna get it, like Adam Pock did in Big Brother 13, where it's like we're gonna get these vets out. Like there is this mentality of us versus them that I think is just.
Adam Pock really went after the vets there, girl.
Yeah, so much for that plan.
I love after Netta was like, "Are you guys internationals?" She was like, "Oh, you're new." And there was just like a subtle excitement and like grin on her face, like, "Oh man, this is beautiful for us."
Yeah, right. Like somebody just asked me to fight a baby to the death for $7,000 or for $100,000 in a new car. Yeah.
Right?
I don't feel good. I love when Dimitri was like, sorry, go ahead.
I love when Dimitri was like, does being in the house for one season make you automatically super good looking? Right? He's like, they're beautiful.
They were beautiful. And I call him Dimitri Douche because he's like, people on Twitter, like Christina, they call him the douche canoe, which I never knew was a thing. But he was so bitter the entire time. Every time a new house guest, a new vet walked in, the look on his face was like face crack of the century. I was living for it.
How enough information to call Dimitri a douche at this point?
Like, how douche
for 5 minutes?
Was Mark with the I give my number out 3 times a night? Like,
yeah, that's pretty douchey.
Alex, Dimitri kissed his bicep, dear.
Yeah, that's pretty bad too.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
It is a tough competition.
Dimitri so far. I like him so far. Although, did you hear? It kind of sounded like he pronounced his name Dimitri's, like with an S on the end. Which I know that's how it's spelled, but it kind of sounded like he pronounced it that way too. So have we been saying it wrong?
That would be very effective for him.
We couldn't be saying it wrong because we're always right. So
yeah, true.
I don't know. I mean, it's either way, I think it's
Okay, what about Jackie though? Because I love Jackie.
Good social game.
So excited the whole time. Like she had the best reactions.
Bubbly personality. Yeah, she seems. I liked what I saw from Jackie. Brent.
I feel like she's really gonna grate on people.
She's the professional pizza maker, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was throwing shade at her in the chat room about that, but yeah. You're not a professional pizza maker. You just put the goddamn thing in the oven. That's all you do. Okay. But I did like her though, and I thought that she seemed like a nice enough girl. I don't know if she's going to grade on people or not. The person who I worried about was William. He seemed to be to somebody. I just cannot help thinking about Rail. Every time I look at William, I think of Rail. I'm talking about Raul, obviously, from last season. He just strikes me as the same kind of person, the same kind of vibe. I know he's French-Canadian, but it still feels like the same thing to me, and I can barely understand him half the time. I can't wait for the feeds when he starts talking fast, and I really can't understand anything.
I don't know. I don't think you're being fair to Jean-Baptiste.
All right.
He
Melissa?
was so angry. He was so angry at every single returning player that walked in.
William
And I thought that
William, was he angry or was he just French? Like sometimes that's just about it. Like I don't care. You know, like if you walk into this house at this point, like this is just a thing that is happening in my life.
Just angry or just French? That's
well, it does bring the comparison to Raul again, because Raul absolutely would have been annoyed if there were returning players coming in because it would have stolen his spotlight.
Yes,
and maybe that's what he was feeling at the time.
Oh, totally. Yes, and plus he's gay too, and you know how us gay guys just love that. We like the spotlight. It's all about us. And I totally get that vibe from William. Of course, I would know nothing about that, but you know, there you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Going back to Jackie.
Go ahead. I'm just like I'm laughing at the three of you. Like I got nothing from the three of you on that one. Okay, go ahead.
In her little intro video, when she was like, "I get along better with guys than with girls." That kind of scares me because the typical girl who says that is like also the typical girl who's like, I don't like drama, who like loves drama.
Right.
So I feel like she's not going to get along with the girls. I mean, she says that she doesn't like them because, you know, I don't remember what she said, but she said
the cattiness. That's what she said. She doesn't like the cattiness.
That makes me think she's the catty one and maybe she's the problem. There's a common denominator.
Well, it
really strong observation, Melissa.
It really, again, brought me back to Heather because I feel like that was exactly what Heather was saying.
Mm-hmm.
And Heather wasn't necessarily catty, but like she was the kind of girl that wasn't getting along with the other girls. So we definitely could be seeing that again.
Yeah. Yep, another Heather.
Heather and her broken foot can go out and see Arissa. What did Ika say? I love when she's like, she can take her broken ass foot and go out and see Arissa right now. Like I lived for that.
Yeah. Well. Oh, also, in M's. Or M, she says everyone calls her M.
Oh, yeah.
In her bio or her intro video, she said that her personality was take it or leave it, that, you know, people are either going to love her or hate her. And so I don't know. She might struggle.
That's so cliche. I can't believe they put her on the show. Like, I would be shot if I submitted that in an audition video. Like, I can't believe.
Nope. Next.
Right? And she said, what, like 90% of the people take her? I'm like, I'll bet they do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was
right?
Like,
thank you. Yeah, I'm like, that didn't really come out right, girl.
Okay. Anything else you guys want to touch on? Should we get in some questions?
Oh, questions, please.
All
Can
right.
I do one more thing?
Yes, absolutely.
Sorry, I was just going back to the bios. Cass, remember, okay, she said the exact thing that we were afraid of during our draft, which was that she was going to play the same game as last time. And in her intro video, she literally said, I'm going to play the exact same game as I did last time. It was like, no.
Yeah, I think that Cass has fallen, as Taran correctly pointed out, probably. Although I still think her game was better than he thinks her game was, and her positioning was better than he thinks her positioning was. Nevertheless, I do think she's drinking her own Kool-Aid a little bit, and she obviously has been told by people like such as us and other places that she was just an amazing player, and amazing is probably too strong of a word. Netta was an amazing player. Cass was a good player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. And, you know, I mean, despite it all, I mean, and everything she accomplished in the game, she is right now just 23. So, I mean, it is another thing, right, to remember that, like, oh, she was really good, but she's still very, very young. And she probably would benefit from more years in between a return, like Netta maybe got the opportunity to do. Okay, so here's a question from John Densford. John wants to know, will the queen stay the queen? # Team Netta. So I think this is a good opportunity for us to lock in early winner picks. What do you guys think about? Should we go ahead and do that?
Sure.
Seems like as good a time as any.
I mean, like I'd be thrilled to be wrong. I would love for Netta to win, but I just think that, there's always going to be a week where she's not going to be safe and she's just going to be a big, fat, juicy target for somebody to get her out of the house. And I just don't see it happening. I'd love for it to. I've said, as I did during the draft, that I'm just feeling it this time. I feel like Cindy with an S is going to be your winner, and I don't know how it's going to happen, but she's going to Rachel Riley herself to the end and gain the respect of the fans along the way and the grudging respect of a jury, and I think she's going to take it. So that's how the story goes.
I didn't realize she was your number one pick off the board. I kneu you drafted her, but
well, I would have probably drafted other people just because of I agree with you as far as not to overthink the chalk pick like Bruno or Netta or something. On the other hand,
Brother Canada.
I know, right? Given the people that were there at the time, and I was thinking about it all the way home when I was driving home from the gym, still working out. Thank you very much. I just thought that Cindy has it's going to happen. So it's like Nicole Stradamus. It's going to happen,
I just as a brief aside, I posted my poll. The question is, who are you sending to the future? And my American Ninja Warrior co-host Lita has not seen the episode yet, and she's very confused about what that means.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be the first twist that we get.
Oh no! I'm sure there's going to be like a time warp to go back to the beginning of the week, or
someone will be lost in space, which will be like solitary confinement for 24 hours.
I'm living for that though. I love shit like this. This is great. Like if you can marry it with the theme, I feel like it goes over really well.
I agree. Melissa, winner pick? You got one yet? Not much to go off of.
It's so hard. Yeah, it's so hard without.
Feel free to change your mind as the season goes on. I mean, I do it all the time.
I just wish that I could see at least some of the feeds or even just some of the conversations that were going on in the house, because we really didn't see anything. It was mainly intro videos and then the comp and people just coming in and saying hi. But we didn't see any conversations with people besides the one conversation where someone said, Netta is so good, or Jackie said Netta is so good, and also Cass.
Also Gary going, I want to work with you.
Yeah, who did he say that to? Who did he say
Cindy.
that to?
Cindy.
Who? Oh, Cindy. Okay, cool.
Yeah, your winner pick.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Things are looking up.
Maybe this is it. Yeah, maybe it's Cindy.
Okay. So if not a winner pick, like who impressed you? Did anyone was anyone better than you expected them to be here? Because I feel maybe. Go ahead.
Well, I thought Karen impressed me with the fact that she was so set on winning the HOH because she knew she needed it. I mean, she's kind of the odd one out, and she knew she needed it, and she made sure she won. And so I think that was pretty impressive. I was pretty impressed with her performance in that, and the fact that she was willing to, make deals and kind of say, I'm going to hang on to this thing till my knuckles bleed or whatever. So
did you feel like,
I was pretty impressed.
I felt like she came on a little strong with the whole come and go, and just she really let these people know that she's just not a potted plant. She's here to play. And I feel like that you don't want to advertise that, let them think you're a potted plant for the first 4 weeks, but now that she's HOH, she's going to make a move of some kind. People are going to know she's there to play, and she could game herself out of the game. If
I feel like it's not necessarily good that she became HOH, but the fact that she became safe because of it. I feel like she maybe should have given HOH to someone else, but I think she did to get the safety. Because otherwise, she's an easy target. People are going to go straight for her because they're going to say, she's the older lady, and maybe they'll even use the excuse like, oh, she should go back to her kids, like they were doing on Big Brother US, where they kept using her kids as an excuse for people to go home. So I feel like she needed.
Just really quickly, it's happened on reality shows in the past. People say, you should go back to your kids. It's so misogynistic. No one ever says it to a guy. They haven't said, oh, the guy should go, like Bruno should go back to his kids. They'll never effing say that to him, okay? So I don't want to ever hear from any reality contestant again, oh, you should go back to your kids if you're the mom. Like, it's just bullshit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's like they're there for their kids to win money.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I do want to say, I'm not saying this will happen, but I'm pretty sure we got pretty similar content from Paul Jackson that we did from Karen in the first episode of Big Brother Canada 2. So there's definitely a chance that Karen is at Paul.
Will Karen have to be the bad guy, dude?
I can see that. That's the vibe I got from Karen. It was a little over the line for me. Her gumption. That's all the only word I can come up with.
Yeah, and I thought the Kale comparison was good too. And it's interesting because Paul got in with a couple younger dudes there with Adele and Kyle and these guys. And then Kale had her Mrs. Robinson alliance with some of the younger guys. So,
well, you kind of have to when you're the only older person.
Could we see Karen try to form something? Maybe when the feeds come on, I could see a situation where Karen's like got a not so secret alliance that maybe the whole house already knows about with like Dylan, Mark, and Dimitri. Could we see that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that's plausible.
Kind of guys.
Okay, here's a question from Samuel Lloyd. Did you guys notice Netta whispered to Ika? Yeah, that's who it was. That she's so glad we're here. Can they work together? I would love it. So, what were you guys? I mean, I don't really remember. Like, what were the terms they left on in Big Brother Canada 2? And I mean, as far as they know, they're good, right?
Yeah, they're good. In fact, they're great as far as I know. The thing that a lot of people forget is that when Ika was shedding the letters, she said, you know, I only have 2 votes. I have Adele and Netta. Like Netta would have voted to keep Ika if the votes were there. And then, you know, because they were watching her on live TV, Netta quickly covered for herself and said, no, I don't know what she's talking about. I'm not going to vote for her to stay. But I think her heart was with Ika there, and she would have voted to keep her. So I feel like they're great.
Yeah, I mean, as far as we know, things are good. There were rumors that they maybe had some sort of schism, but judging by the look on Ika's face when Netta walked in the door, I think that they're probably pretty good because she looked very happy.
Yes, she did.
She looked very unhappy at a lot of the other people. So I think they're probably going to be working together. That would not surprise me in the least.
Yeah. So Kirsten McInnes has a question, and I'm actually a little confused about this myself. She's saying, why make Karen the HOH? Why not both yourself safe and choose a third person to get blood on their hands? So was that an option? Was that if you could have picked it, so it didn't have to be someone from your team?
Well, it was so confusing. I didn't even know they could pick someone from their own team. Like I thought whoever won the competition had to choose. Like those 2 people are safe, but then they have to give it to somebody else. I thought that's what it was.
Yeah, I had it right, and then I got confused, and then now I had it right originally. Okay,
because now can't Karen not compete in the next HOH when she could have been safe and then compete next week, right?
Correct. Right. Yeah,
so,
she cannot compete in the next HOH. Yeah,
this is a little bit like that. What did they call it when Amazing Race invaded the roadblock or whatever? Is that what it was? No, that was the roadkill. That was the other thing. But yeah, I mean, fast forward. It's like the fast forward. Like you got a week there. Yeah, take the safety.
Yeah, she can compete next week. Why wouldn't she do that?
Yeah, regardless of how she turns out as a player, this is a mistake, like hands down.
It's a mistake.
You should not take this HOH when you have guaranteed safety instead. And you can give it to somebody else. You can probably make somebody else's day. Like, who wants it? Do you want it?
Yes,
like, here you go.
Get some currency there. Yes, exactly. This shows to me that maybe Karen doesn't have what it takes because it was an emotional decision. You could see it. Yeah. She was like, "I'm gonna win this. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it." Whoa, girl, tone it down just a little bit.
Nobody's taking me down.
Right? Exactly. That's how it was. And she could have totally, like, if she would have given it to Ika or Netta, like, she would have been just set. And now she's the HOH. She's going to put people up, and she ain't safe next week, and she can't compete next week.
I mean, to be fair, sometimes it's good to be the HOH because then people come to you with deals.
Yes, that's true.
So maybe she figured that if she was in power, people would come to her and make deals, whereas if she was just merely safe, she might not have that opportunity to make those deals. So
that's a good point. And we have talked many times on this show about how many, like in modern day Big Brother, how good it is oftentimes to win the first HOH because you get to set the table for how the alliances break down. Like whatever alliance forms during that first week, you're a part of it. And so maybe it isn't such a bad call, but I probably would have taken the other option.
Yeah, but that's why, like, giving it to somebody, they're probably going to include you in some way, and you're not going to be left out in the same way that you might if you were just competing and lost.
In fairness to her, she had to make a quick decision. I didn't even really think about it for the first half hour, and then I'm like, oh yeah, she probably should have given it away. So, it took the 4 of us together a half hour to work it out. I can't imagine Karen could work it out in 2 minutes competing on Big Brother and fighting for her life. Maybe she felt like she was fighting for her life the entire time, and she kind of wanted to just stick it to everybody and say, "Ha, I won!" Take that. Yeah,
it definitely came off like she had something to prove, right?
Yes.
Like she feels like she needed to prove herself to be a strong competitor, and I feel like that's going to follow through with her nominations.
Taran, do you think this points to her putting up 2 veterans right away more than anything, or?
I mean, it absolutely could, because I think she's gonna be bold with what she does, and if bold means I'm gonna go straight for the big guns, or if it means I'm gonna go for the physically intimidating people, I think it's going to be something that is, not just here's somebody that doesn't fit in. Let's just get rid of them.
Gosh, I'm worried about Kevin. I really am worried about Kevin because I feel like that's the kind of person that she would put up. She's not going to nominate Gary. She seemed to really like Gary when he came in. She's like, I knew this season wouldn't be complete without Gary being on the show. So, oh gosh, and Kevin can't win the twist. So, girl, get that veto. That's what you need to do.
I think this is probably the most danger Kevin will be in. I think this is a bad spot could potentially be a bad spot for him.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even have Netta in the house because she's in the hospital or
and,
was in the hospital to like help him out.
Right. And, it'd be easy to say, yeah, go ahead and, the future twist. Let's go ahead and make sure that we give safety to the veteran we think is going to be in trouble, but it's not going to even count until after an eviction. So this is,
I think,
frustrating there.
As far as Kevin goes, I think the real question that we need to answer is, what is Kevin's relationship like with Cindy? I know Taran made a point that Karen's not going to listen to Cindy necessarily, but I do think that Cindy will have some credibility with Karen. And so what is the relationship between Cindy and Kevin? Is there something there where Cindy feels like she can work with this guy? Remember, he was famously the guy who overheard her conversation, ultimately led to her eviction the first time around in Big Brother Canada 3. So I don't know. I'd like to think it's fine. Generally you go with the devil, but I do think there's a possibility that, Cindy might not go to bat for him.
Yeah, you'd think that she's hard-pressed for allies and that she might turn to Kevin as somebody, I know you, I know, we have the funny bathroom connection.
Right.
Like, I'm not good with these other people, but I know you, so maybe we can do something here.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's definitely I think if Karen does sort of set her sights on him, that's probably his best hope to get out of it.
Nice. Yeah. Do you guys have other stuff you want to touch on, or should we get out of here for tonight?
Well, here's the what you were talking about with like Kevin wouldn't even be safe if we saved him. Like the thing that I don't understand about this twist is like the big crazy downside to this whole returning player thing was like I was going to tweet earlier today, like, how terrible would it be if tomorrow night Netta is out of the game and we never even see her on the feeds, and that's just it, and she's done. Like, that would be so terrible. And then like, the one bright side to this twist is like, okay, we'd be able to save them. But no, not from that outcome.
Yeah,
like,
that's why I said they dropped the ball.
One terrible thing it could save us from, it doesn't save us from. And it's just,
I do wonder if they're underestimating the backlash that might come if people don't get the first week of feeds, and then it turns out the first person out is someone people really wanted to see on feeds.
Let's hope. Let's just hope and pray that Karen goes. Karen goes to one of those douchey guys, and that'll make everybody happy.
Maybe Dimitri peed in the hot tub or something like that.
Hopefully. Yeah, you never underestimate.
We can only hope.
I'm telling you what, the first week, shit like that matters. It really does. Like, anything can set people off. Anything can, say, I want to get you out of the house. You're impossible to live with. I can't stand your snoring. You didn't wash your hands before you ate. Anything can happen during the first week when alliances aren't set and everything is fluid. So it could really be anyone.
Yeah,
I feel like if Netta is forced out, and we don't even get to see her on the feeds, like there's no way that they'll just let her go. Like, I think that there's no way they won't try and bring her back, like as some sort of returnee thing or something.
That's not it.
Toronto will riot.
We're not putting that in the universe. She is not going to be the first person evicted tomorrow night.
No, she will not. Please.
For the record,
pandemonium in Ontario.
I think that if Netta gets this, if she's sent to the future, I think her win equity goes way up. I think she definitely can overcome the stigma that's attached to it. I think that it gets her past one of the tougher blocks of time for her in the house. Will it be the same? No, it won't be as fun probably, but I think she may even take like the top spot if she gets this future safety.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the people are talking about, well, this could be, a detriment to her game. Like, bitch, please. Like, this is Netta we're talking about. Everyone knows she should have won Big Brother Canada 2. She's got an amazing strategic game. She's got the credibility. Like, if she gets to if she's up for a jury vote, she's taking it. I don't care who's against her. just lock it down. So I know in no universe is this going to be, Portia with the golden key getting to the end of Big Brother or Big Brother 13, and Jeff on the jury saying, "Well, you didn't do much for the first 4 weeks. You kind of went to sleep there." I don't see
Built
that
him a
happening.
base tan.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. No way.
I want to say something really quickly before we go sign off. Somebody in the Rob Has a Podcast patron group, and if you aren't a patron, you should be, because you can get in the patron group and listen to stuff like this on the inside. Someone went to the taping, and when they announced the prizes, apparently they didn't get any reaction from the house guests whatsoever, because it's the same damn prize they've been offering for the past 4 seasons. So they had to tape it again, and that's why you saw the amazing reactions that you did from the house guests. Like Arissa said, "We're going to announce the grand prize," and there's Dre going, "Woo!" like that. Like you hadn't even said anything yet. So
Arissa, we're gonna need to do that again. We need a little more excitement about the Toyota 86.
Right? The Toyota.
God, sorry, I have nothing in my ear.
Sponsors won't.
No programming in your ear. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh my God.
That's great.
It's crazy.
Well, Big Brother Canada 5 is officially kicked off. Do we know when feeds
Yay.
start, by the way? Officially? Do we know when feeds go up, or is it just kind of ambiguous at this point?
I think it's assumed it goes. They go up after tomorrow night's episode.
Just
After tomorrow night's eviction.
live eviction episode, which is what time? 9?
I don't know. Well, I'm not on the podcast, and I know Melissa isn't either. You guys are on the podcast with a guest tomorrow, right? Can you announce that guest?
Yeah, so tomorrow, Taran and I think JB. Yeah, okay. So I think it's tomorrow at 9, the episode. I'm not positive about that. I could be wrong. But after the episode, 15 minutes after the episode, 15 to 20 minutes after the episode, let's be safe. We're going to be going live with Mitch Moffat, Big Brother Canada 4. We'll be joined Taran's favorite house guest. Maybe. I don't know. It's hyperbole. He likes Dan Giesling too quite a bit. But yeah, so we're going to be going live with Mitch. We'll talk about the eviction. We'll talk about what we learned from kind of the first week as it plays out in an episode, which usually kind of moves pretty quickly. But then we'll have some feeds to talk about, and we'll be live next week at various points. You guys are going to be on, I believe, Monday with Rob, right?
Yeah, I think so. Actually, I thought you guys aren't. Well, I
thought you guys were on
Rob on Monday.
Okay, could be. All right. Well, anyways, Rob will be doing Big Brother Canada 5 coverage on Mondays. We'll have shows every Wednesday and Thursday with Jordan. And also don't miss Survivor coverage. If you've been, if you haven't been watching Survivor, I don't know what you're doing. This is a great season, and Rob has some great guests lined up. So Survivor Know-It-Alls episode tonight. Tomorrow morning, Rob is podcasting with Johnny Fairplay, and then Nicole on the voicemails. So it's going to be a fun week of Survivor. Yes, Taran?
A couple quick corrections. The episode is at 8 p.m. tomorrow Eastern.
Beautiful.
And the feeds are going to start, they said Friday. So people are assuming maybe midnight on Thursday night.
Not as beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that is 8 p.m. Eastern. Yes?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. The live eviction episode, 8 p.m. Eastern.
You said for Survivor voicemails, so that's Nicole Delma that's doing the voicemails? Yes?
Yeah, you got it. That's the one. Yep.
All right.
Okay. All right. So I think that covers it. Follow Brent on Twitter. He is at @OneLuckyGay. Melissa is at It's Melissa with 3 A's, right? And Taran is at Armstrong Taran. And I am at Alex Kidwell. So for the live feed correspondence for Jordan and his posse.
Yes.
Thanks for watching. Take care. Till next time.